number 5 just then.
Yep.
Number 5.
Police Academy 5. More of the same.
She's making it like she's drinking vodka or something. It's a malt beverage. But I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. It's driven her to drink.
Actually, it does have a tiny bit of vodka in it.
It's like 5%
4.8.
proof.
Yeah, it's 4%. So it's got a
4.8.
tiny bit.
Yeah, that's like 9 proof or something.
Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. That's not exactly right.
It's like beer.
So this time we were in Miami. I mean, not us personally, obviously. We've not moved from the room. No, because there's those really big, like, flying cockroaches. What are you doing back there? You're not dead. Stop being such a baby.
Or get alive.
Hey. So, yeah, so we didn't have Stop it. We're being professional.
I lost 3 cookies in Nom.
That's good. That's good. So we didn't have Mahoney this time. He was not with us for this movie.
What? Was it not?
No, Steve Gutenberg quit after the 4th one.
Sergeant not appearing in this film.
So he was replaced by Nick Lassard, who was played by, I forget his name, but he was in Memory Run where he played the very fey revolutionary leader.
And if you recall from the Memory Run review, it's okay to be gay. Let's rejoice with the boys.
That's like your
In the
announcer
gay
voice.
way. What?
Previously on the High Review.
Hey, I did the one for the
Quantum
possession review.
Yeah.
So what did we think, everybody?
It was more of the same. It was a big set piece at the end with a ludicrous setup. Although this time it did actually have a story with the villains in it.
It was more of the same, but it's also, it's like the same but worse every time.
Yeah.
There's not a bit from that one which could have replaced any similar stuff from the first one and been better.
And the villains were Laurel and Hardy level of incompetent.
Pretty much.
Except for René Auberjonois, but he was in brownface.
And it was filmed, the lighting and the way it was filmed was more reminiscent of a 1980s made-for-TV movie or soap opera.
It looked like Brian Trenchard Smith's Mark of the Panther, or Strike of the Panther, one of his Jason Blade movies.
It was shot like Scrubs.
Real movie.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's...
But we came up with a new world theory because we didn't have the blue oyster this time. So his little goldfish, which has survived many a catastrophist scrape.
You know, being eaten by a tit and out of his bowl for a while, being hit with golf balls, being boiled alive.
Being drowned in food that one time.
Yeah.
So is on...
And being put into a case with the tank and put into the hold of an airplane.
And it's pulled out, water intact, and fish swimming. So we've decided that the goldfish... Okay, well I've decided the goldfish is actually the omniscient idiot god of their world. And like the phoenix, he rises again every time you see the fishbowl. He cannot be killed. His water cannot be spilled. And
in the, okay, towards the end, they've kidnapped Lassard. Lassard's convinced it's part of this, like, game thing, and...
Yeah, they're like the big police junket, the big...
Yeah.
Everybody come to a holiday destination and we'll do some police training.
like a trade show,
They
essentially.
worked out this okay plan, which was get a helicopter from the roof, go to a harbour, get a boat, go to Key West, and then, go head out to international waters, and then they can exchange shit, meet up with the boss, and kill Lassard.
Actually, that's a really stupid idea because even if they go to international water, the whole law of hot pursuit applies.
Oh, really?
Well, it's a better plan
Yeah.
than they had used.
If they're being pursued at the time that they cross the boundary of a country or into international waters, the law of hot pursuit applies even across police precincts.
It's a better plan than the one they used, because they said they were going to do that. And then suddenly they're like, okay, we got the helicopter, we got our boat.
But we've done a boat chase before. Let's go to the Everglades and do a boat chase there.
Now, I'm not an expert in the geography of Miami, but I'm fairly sure if you go from Miami to the Everglades...
If you go from the shore to international water, you don't go through the Everglades.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that. It's like, we're going to go this way, or we're going to go this way.
I'm envisioning the geography of so Miami's like here. It was like Miami's at the tip, right? And Orlando's in the middle?
Orlando was in the middle, yeah.
So I guess if they had gone north and west, they would have hit the Gulf, which would have been longer. So I guess maybe they wanted to go north to rendezvous with the Everglades and then east. But I don't think that the Everglades ever meet up with the sea.
Still, it's like somebody in North Italy saying, we're going to go to the Mediterranean, and then ending up in Russia.
Like you to. But, so yeah, there was that. There's the addition of the fat cop now. Who,
House.
His name is House.
He's not played by Hugh Laurie.
No. He looks like one of the original members of the rap group, the Fat Boys.
You know, I have Olive House by Hugh Laurie on DVD.
He looks like
It's
the.
alright.
He looks like.
like
Which was the one? Keenan and Kel. Which was the one that has fat?
Kel.
Kel.
No, Keenan.
It's Keenan. It's Keenan.
Because Kel loves orange soda.
Oh right, yeah, that's true.
That's the that's the two tests to see if somebody's old enough to fuck. You go, who loves orange soda? And if they can't answer that, you hold up a cassette tape and a pencil and ask them what the association
Hey,
between these two items is.
I remember when they
I
were
couldn't
on
tell you
all that before they had their own show, because I used to babysit two little kids who were just old enough to watch all that, which is a big deal for them.
I couldn't tell you all that because I don't know shit
All
about
that
You
was
don't
kind
know
of
the
like an
association between a pencil and a cassette tape?
She
Well, I can
does.
work that one is. I didn't know what it has to do with Keenan and Kel though.
No, it's one of those things. It's like you see on Facebook. Like they'll say a pencil with the eraser tip and a cassette tape, and it says like and share if you get this. I don't do that because I just like farming, but or like how you click the disk icon to save in Microsoft Word, but most
It's a floppy disk and
Yeah,
nobody knows
most-
what that is anymore.
The only noteworthy thing about Keenan and Kel is that it gave Ken Forhey extra job. Gave him money. Good Ken Forhey.
But anyway, Police Academy 5.
This until Police Academy 7 came along, the world thought after seeing Police Academy 5 that, well, at least they can't get any worse than this.
It wasn't terrible, that's the thing about it. It wasn't normal what we watch level of shit.
But it was just,
That's the story.
you know what it was? It was the perfect epitome of the late 80s. It was cream-filled, blue raspberry, neon packaging, processed sugar crap.
The thing is, if you watch Policeman Academy 1, then watch Police Academy 5, the only real sort of parallels you could draw would be the theme song.
Yeah.
Policeman Academy 1 was silly, funny, slapstick and great.
It was original.
It was a character-based comedy.
Yeah, Police Academy 5, they're generic caricatures that you could get in any film.
They
with
flanderized
slices of-
them to the nth degree, and there must be something even beyond the nth degree, maybe the qth degree or something, because it gets worse with 7. Oh boy. 7, the film that's so bad that not even Proctor came back.
Like, it's terrible because, so it's set in Miami and everyone's dressed in the light colors, the pastel colors. And I kept expecting characters from original Miami Vice to run by. It was filmed in such a way you wouldn't be shocked if Jessica Fletcher walked up and said, oh yes, well I'm visiting from Maine, and expecting someone to die. It was just,
Everything is so fucking brightly lit. What's Thomas Kincaid paintings are darker than this. He understands shadow more.
I don't know
Thomas
what the
Kincaid, the
fuck
painter of light.
And also,
I know what the fuck fact. Energy drinks can actually cause cavities, headaches, miscarriages, and possibly death.
Well, yeah, if you
Yeah.
drink 20 of them.
yeah, well, so can hydrogen dioxide. You drink that.
No one
No.
drinks that.
Everybody drinks that.
It's water.
H2O.
The hydrogen monoxide.
Water.
That's monoxide.
The hydrogen
Mono
monoxide.
is one, di is two. Hydrogen,
Dihydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. That's water.
Okay, you said.
That can cause
That's the chemical name for it.
that can cause drowning and excessive use.
You can.
It can cause
As you
lysis.
know, 99% of both the committers and victims of violent crime have had bread within the past 24 hours.
No, no.
Yeah.
Don't do us ban bread.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But Police Academy 5, so
Ban Police Academy 5.
There wasn't
My
nice.
biggest problem with it is Hightower in the first one. Hightower was a guy who was he was really big, really scary, and a bit strong, but that was his physical characteristics. He was like really quiet and really thinking.
He had pathos.
Yeah, and he would get
He was
upset
a
and then get a bit physical, and that was awesome. Now he's just a big scary black guy, and that's it. He's no longer.
Well,
the
see,
deep
they need it because they have. He's the big scary black guy. They already have the big funny black guy now. And Callahan just a set of tits, really.
Callahan, she heard the chickification of Callahan started when she
Ooh, good
sang
word.
when she sang the song in Police Academy 4 was it or 3, where she was just singing the song with hooks.
No, it was this one. No,
No,
it was the last
it was
one.
the last one.
4. Okay,
They're
they're
all
blending
blending
together.
together.
It's the one I wasn't here for.
And that continues till 7 when she gets kidnapped by like a couple of Russian guys. But Police Academy 1, Callahan could have killed them and fed them their own pelvises.
Callahan has 7 and 9 syndrome. In this one especially, she gets on the flight in basically a bikini with a jacket on over it.
She never wears a bra.
She never wears a bra, and suddenly, you know, she never wears an officer's uniform anymore, or the proper clothes everybody else wears. She's always wearing something skin tight.
That must be difficult. Like, if she doesn't have artificials, they must have it taped in some way, because that's, like, seems really
Some
painful.
people are just naturally perky.
Really?
Yeah.
But at that
Especially-
weight,
Crampton.
but at that weight though, you know, I don't know. I mean, I
Well,
was
Barbara
speaking
Crampton's
from a
here with
double-
us in the room.
What?
There you go. So, there
Robyn
was
wants your tits on the wall.
What?
under 18. So there was a very nice little throwback joke to the first movie, which I did appreciate.
We may as well call them episodes. They're not
Yeah.
long movies.
That's true.
No,
But-
I don't know that.
About 90
Harris
minutes.
is kind of becoming really just like, I mean, who handles the actual crime in this city? Because, like, I know he's supposed to be the captain of a precinct, but, like,
He
this
spends
is,
all his time trying to annoy the police academy ones.
it's almost like, I'll get you, my pretty police team, and your little hooks,
Dog,
too.
too.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, at first I
I
was
think at
saying,
this,
your tax dollars at work, but now I'm just like,
at this point they have forgotten that Mauser and Harris are supposed to be different characters.
yeah. And I think they've forgotten, I mean, okay, we've all been the victim of, you know, a boss with an issue, you know, someone out to get you, or bureaucracy in your job. And we all understand that. We can all empathize with that. But at this point, it's like mustache twirling levels of inanity. You know? Like, I mean, I worked once with this horrible, horrible office bitch, possessor of many different sets of personality
Her name
disorders.
was actually Esmeralda Q Office Bitch.
Yeah,
It was
well.
amazing.
But see, the thing is that, like, she was a horrible, horrible person, and it really came to a lawsuit. However, you know, there was no, like, Solid Snake, like, sneaking. There was no dastardly plans.
There's no, I'm going to sneak into your office at 5 o'clock in the morning and read your write-up report.
I mean, I don't know, it just... I understand that in a lot of comedy you can't have... You have to have that sense of absurdity. Like, Airplane was really good at this.
Mm.
But at a certain point, I have this idea of comedy as a physical graph, and here's the curve. You can have your absurdists beyond the curve. A Monty Python sketch is a good example of this. Usually we'll have a straight man inside the curve, and you have your absurdist outside. We have like a Mr. Gumby sketch. We have all your absurdists out of it. But when your entire setting moves beyond the curve, if it's not done right, it's just stupid.
It becomes Kung Pao into the fist.
Or
In
it
my
becomes like
opinion-
Saturday morning cartoons.
In my opinion on this, a good movie, a feature-length comedy, needs to be an almost played straight premise with occasional bits of absurdity
Well,
or
it depends
humour.
on the type of humor. The first Police Academy didn't really feel like it, but Airplane or whatever does.
Yeah, it's a good example.
I know, but this is just absurd premise with absurd characters doing absurd things. There's
Mel
no
Brooks though.
baseline.
Mel Brooks has a good balance too.
Oh, Mel Brooks is
Yeah.
fantastic.
But this one, the first Police Academy was a character comedy with bits of absurdity and with childishness. With this one, it is just each of these one is becoming like a remake slash sort of almost parody of the first one, and it's like photocopying a photocopy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're reaching like the event horizon of Police Academy.
But
the
that's why-
plagiarization is so obvious. The old guy, what's the old
Lessard?
Lassard? Lassard used to be a caring guy in charge of a academy who had he was occasionally klutzy and occasionally had mind lapses. Now he's just a complete another klutz.
He's like Mr. Magoo.
Yeah, he's like Mr. Bean.
Although you could defend that by saying he is a year over the state's mandatory retirement, and so it is plausible that he is getting progressively more senile. That's the only. I mean, if that's the case, then that's kind of dark and a little sad.
And what do you call her? Hooks. Hooks used to be a really shy girl with a character who could occasionally, whenever she needed to, lose the plot and shout at people. Now she's just bitch on off switch. Actually, sassy on off switch.
Well, you know the way that she dresses, she kind of looks like she's from the South. So a really good character backstory for her could be that her mother brought her up. She must be this demure Southern lady, but she always wanted to get out there and you know be the cop and be in charge and stuff like that. And that would have been a really great thing to introduce.
In
but-
that case, they should develop her character, not just change it down to.
We got the
Just
broad,
one-off
we got the
such.
broad versions of the original characters, and we just give them into a collection of skits that, in this one, more closely resemble the film.
And Jones doesn't have a character anymore. In the first one, he was just Mahoney's playful mate who was just fucking around. Now he's just, he's literally a magical ventriloquist and nothing else.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Well,
with,
but he does have his own. He does have his own kind of like I am the class clown kind of thing. But without somebody else to play on, it's just him fucking
He
around.
has no straight man to play off.
but Hooks is, and back to Hooks. Don't know if ever you've seen Police Academy 5, but when she's dressed for the plane, she kind of looks like she thinks she's Whoopi Goldberg in The Color Purple.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That like she might have been raised by. I mean, she's an African American character, and this is the '80s, so she was probably raised by a mother again who lived the civil rights movement, who said, you know what, you are a lady. You're gonna act like a lady, things and stuff.
Hey, if
Dress the
anybody
part.
wants to go out in a big white dress and super hat, I'm not going to go against them.
I mean, she really did look like she'd come from church on Sunday, quite honestly, in the South.
Although that's really stupid clothing to get on the plane with.
Almost as stupid as Callahan's.
Yeah, but there are some old people that still dress up to go
You
out.
notice
to
how the
church.
people who break the law most in these films is actually the police officers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just weird.
That's because in the US, there is a clause in the law that says it's okay for any civilian or officer to break a law as long as they're doing it to prevent the law being broken that has a bigger sentence. So it's okay to...
So you're like, so someone's about to murder an entire classroom full of children, you're allowed to rape one of the children.
What?
Well, what?
No, he said.
it's stuff like you're allowed to go up and assault somebody who you can...
But the way
witness
you
is about to
the way
take
you
hostages.
framed it is like if raping a child would somehow stop the murder of an entire class full of children, then legally you'd be able to.
Well, if you
I
can...
can't-
What's wrong with your
If
mind?
you can prove that in court, I'm pretty sure that would
I
fall
can't
under this
think
law.
of any reason why that would be, but it would seem to fit under how you describe the
If
law.
you can fit that in court, then yes, that is US law.
Okay, if that's the
You're
case.
allowed to shoot and kill somebody who you see in the process of about to slaughter hostages. It's murder.
Well, you are allowed to kill in self-defense because I had a friend who, he was military, and this guy who's, I don't know if he was trying to rob the place or he was on drugs or something, burst into his house with a knife and he said, "Ah!" and shot him in the chest. And he died, and the police came and they took his weapon and they did an investigation and they gave him his weapons back. I mean,
That's more than they did to George Zimmerman.
Well, George Zimmerman's not my friend.
I know, no, I'm just saying, no, I'm just saying that they didn't even take the guy's gun and they let him go and everything. It wasn't
Well, of
until-
course, my friend immediately called the police.
Until
and
there was
said,
a
"You better
large
come over, I
outcry,
shot
no
someone."
one gave a shit about George Zimmerman.
That's because he's a racist fucker.
It's because Florida's stupid. As
But-
well.
But the thing is that you won't always be in a situation where that happens.
But, back to Florida with,
Oh, Florida. I still have to send the thing to Nash.
give me like 6 months.
Oh, no, it's been like 4, but I have Mike's address with him.
Okay.
I don't think Nash watches our thing, so don't tell me. They have a thing for Nash.
I have faith in that.
Oh, my.
It was nice to see
And then-
Rene Bergeramois in a movie where he wasn't playing a shapeshifter or like a drunken skeleton.
But see, the thing is, I've seen him in so many bit parts in the 80s. For example, on, shows like Murder, She Wrote, or an extra on, like Miami Vice or something like that. Or Hunter. No, probably nobody remembers Hunter but me. But
I recognized one of the two guys who hung around with Rene Bergeramois, but I can't remember his name. He was the guy with the brown hair who constantly wore the glasses.
oh,
I can't remember his name, but I recognized him. I know the mayor of Miami was the dad from Teen Wolf. These films is like amazing. You can watch these small parts or just or guys you recognize from other things if you watch 80s things.
The problem with it at this point is that this one feels what the other ones managed to do, and that's hold my attention.
yeah, because people going in and out, doing things and stuff. We were checking Twitter.
Every other one has managed to at least hold my interest. This one, it was just, I know exactly what's going to happen in this film. I know exactly how they're going to end up.
They're going to end it with a ceremony and people getting medals.
What makes it really weird though is 6, if my memory is right.
If
6,
my memory serves me correctly.
I would eat raw pepper, but
So would I.
6 is actually one of the best ones. It's like
Well, that's good. That's
so,
what I look forward to when I get back from food.
so we're going to see. But we're going to have to get Chinese now. Any final thoughts?
I didn't like this one as much.
They're starting to merge together. I think isn't a comment on quality, it's rather a comment on
Actually, you know what?
marathons.
It's not really a set of 7 movies. I've realized it's 2 British seasons. No, really, I'm
Yeah.
serious. Because you guys, so like if you broke these down into like 45-minute bits, it would be 1 season and then the second
No, it
season.
would be 1 season, it would be 14 episodes.
I thought sometimes it's only 6.
Our British shows are quite often half hour, 6 episodes, so this could actually be 3 British seasons or
Okay,
4.
yeah, so.
Or 1, depending on the show.
Well, British season quite often the first one's quite good, so that'll be like Please Tell Me 1 and 2. The second one's usually not very good, and then it gets worse. So it broadly fits.
Or they cut it off after the 2nd season on a cliffhanger. I'm looking at you, Kingdom.
Or it's not very good, but it just keeps going for about 6 seasons. I'm looking at you, Merlin.
Oh, I have some friends on there that really love it because there's like homoerotic.
My dad loves it.
Your
Does
dad's
your
in
dad
the-
love it?
But then my dad also loves Enterprise.
Oh.
Your dad has many issues, and that's one of the minor ones.
My dad's lovely. He doesn't mind you.
Great endorsement.
He's never met you, so he refuses to form an opinion.
So that has
Yeah, he
been
did.
number
He did
5.
meet me.
Everybody.
Really?
Yeah, your mum and your dad were both there whenever I
Oh,
was
well,
in
he
the car.
still has never spoken out against you. Whenever my mom goes on about you're evil and a lesbian, he doesn't really care.
You are a lesbian?
Apparently so.
I like
Yeah,
that.
Robyn's Latronakarian's mother thinks I'm the devil, or perhaps a lesser demon, possibly Baphomet or something.
Beelzebub.
Pazuzu.
I have never been inside Linda Blair.
That you know of.
Not that you don't want to be.
Oh my god.
Bye, everybody.